If you're thinking about getting a cordless mini chainsaw but every single one looks the same and promises the same specs, you're not alone. They perform wildly differently once you actually start cutting, and picking the wrong one means chains flying off, motors overheating, and oil leaking all over your garage. I've narrowed it down to the 7 best actually worth your money right now. All the links are in the description so you can grab whichever fits your situation. Let's get into it. We start with the Seesii CH600 plus 6-inch, and this is where I'd point most first-time buyers. It runs on an 880-watt brushless motor, pushing the chain at over 16 feet per second. Brushless means way less friction and heat, so you can cut longer before the tool needs a break. You get two 21-volt 2-amp-hour batteries, an automatic chain oiler with a transparent inspection window, and a spring-loaded splash guard. But here's what genuinely impressed me. This thing fits into its hard carrying case fully assembled. No removing the bar, no popping off the battery. Storm knocks a branch onto your driveway at 7 in the morning. Grab the case and you're cutting in 15 seconds flat. The kit includes a spare chain and gloves too. The oiler cap needs to be secured tightly or it'll drip during storage, and new chains stretch during the first few sessions because the metal expands with heat. So check tension every 10 minutes until it settles. Once past that break-in period, this saw handles 6 to 8-inch branches without breaking a sweat. Now, if the Seesii is the smart everyday choice, the Milwaukee M12 fuel hatchet is what professionals refuse to work without. Milwaukee's Power State brushless motor paired with RedLink Plus intelligence means the battery and tool are in constant digital communication, preventing thermal overload in real time. The variable speed trigger sets it apart from everything else here. You can feather the throttle to start a groove slowly before going full power, completely eliminating that violent bouncing you get with single-speed saws like the Seesii or the Secker. Then there's the full house chain. While most mini chainsaws use a skip-tooth design with cutters on every other link, the Hatchet places a sharpened tooth on every single drive link. The result is remarkably smooth, almost surgical cuts with minimal vibration, critical when pruning living trees because cleaner cuts heal faster. With a 4-amp-hour battery, you get around 120 cuts on 2-inch oak, outstanding productivity. It weighs 4.85 pounds with the battery, a bit heavier than budget options, but the balance is engineered so it never feels awkward. The automatic oiler does weep during storage, so drain the reservoir after sessions or store it on its side. For landscapers and arborists, this earns its premium price every single day. For something completely different, the Secker SK1806D 6-inch is ultra lightweight, dead simple, and built for people who want a chainsaw as intimidating as a TV remote. It handles trimming fruit trees and clearing small dead branches without any fuss. There's no onboard oiling system, so you manually lubricate the chain, but that means zero storage leaks. A fair trade if you hate messy tools. The motor can stall if you push down too hard, so the trick is letting the saw work at its own pace. Perfect for occasional weekend cleanups and light gardening tasks, though for thick hardwood you'll want more power like the Seesii or Milwaukee. And wait until you see this next one, because the Votre VTEC800 is an absolute beast that barely qualifies as mini. It ships with both a 6-inch and 8-inch guide bar, swappable without tools, powered by an 800-watt brushless motor at nearly 33 feet per second, double the speed of most competitors. Picture this. A nasty storm tears through overnight and you wake up to thick oak limbs everywhere, some 8 inches across. Most mini chainsaws tap out at 6 inches, but the Votre chews through them like pool noodles. The two 3-amp-hour batteries are massive, 50% more capacity than standard kits. That translates to roughly 300 cuts on 4-inch branches or 150 on 6-inch logs per charge. Phenomenal for off-grid work where there's no outlet in sight. The smart oil pump only activates when you pull the trigger, so unlike the Milwaukee, no mystery puddles on the shelf. It also has a tool-free tensioning knob, no screwdriver needed. Manufacturing consistency can vary between units though, so buying through a retailer with easy returns is the smart play. Next up, the Worx Nitro WG3 255-inch, and if the Votre is brute force, this is pure finesse. The brushless motor tears through wood with zero stalling, and the auto oiler dynamically adjusts flow based on what you're cutting. Thin branches get light lubrication, thick wood gets more automatically. That's typically a premium-only feature. The 5-inch bar means anything over 5 inches thick requires cutting from two sides, but for standard residential pruning, that's rarely an issue. The real game changer, though, is the extension pole. Worx sells a 4-foot pole that snaps onto the base, instantly converting it into a proper pole saw. Imagine a Saturday morning, coffee in hand, pruning those annoying overhead limbs without climbing a single rung. No other saw on this list can do that. And if you own any Worx 20-volt tools, the batteries swap right over, making this an incredibly smart addition to your existing setup. Now, here's a twist. Remember the Saker 6-inch? Solid but limited. The Saker SK1804D 4-inch is a completely different animal, and honestly, one of the most underrated tools in this entire category. Under 3 pounds, just 14 inches long, it slides into a hiking backpack without adding noticeable weight. Don't let the size fool you, though. In thermal endurance testing, this tiny saw completed 22 consecutive cuts on 4-inch solid oak before overheating. A well-known premium German competitor at several times the price managed only 12. You're deep in the woods on a weekend trail and a fallen tree blocks the path. Pull this out, clear it in minutes, keep moving without breaking a sweat. It needs manual oiling and the short bar makes sharpening tricky, so most owners grab cheap replacement chains when the original dulls. The 550-watt motor will stall if you force it, so patience is key, but for anyone who values portability above all else, nothing comes close. Rounding things out, the Tietoc MNCS 118 6-inch is the ultimate value play. The gear in this kit is almost comical. 2 batteries, hard case, extra guide bar, extra chain, safety glasses, gloves, and an oil bottle. Those spare parts alone extend your total lifespan significantly, something almost no competitor includes at this price. The 880-watt motor cuts through a 6-inch log in about 8 seconds and handles 4x4 pressure-treated lumber easily. The semi-automatic primer bulb oiler is a clever middle ground. Press it with your thumb for oil on demand. No passive leaking like the Milwaukee, no forgetting to lube like the Saker. The oil bottle arrives empty though, so grab bar oil before your first session. Battery marketing claims are optimistic, but real-world cutting delivers about 1 hour per battery, 2 hours total. The chain stretches during the first 20 minutes, so keep the tensioning screwdriver handy at the start. So let me help you pick based on what you actually need. If you're a professional who needs a tool that survives daily abuse with surgical precision and zero stalling, the Milwaukee Hatchet is the only real option. For the homeowner who wants maximum versatility, especially with tall trees and no interest in climbing ladders, the Worx Nitro with that pole saw conversion is the smartest buy. First-time buyer who wants the best ready-to-go experience without overthinking it, the Seesii gives you 2 batteries, a hard case, and serious power at a great price. Backpackers, campers, and hunters who need something ultralight, the 4-inch Saker fits in your pack and outperforms saws twice its size in endurance tests. Got thick branches over 6 inches from storm damage or heavy property clearing, the VTEC is the only one here with an 8-inch bar and those massive 3 amp-hour batteries to match. Just need the simplest, lightest tool for occasional small pruning without physical strain, the Saker 6-inch handles it without any complexity. And if you're on a tight budget but want spare parts included for the long haul, the Tietoc starter kit is hard to beat. All the links are in the description. Drop a comment if you have questions, and I'll catch you in the next one.